All right, this is how I got stopped out for a brutal break even on NASDAQ today. You can see here I sold 3 short, trying to trade the sell side of the curve, and got stopped out for break even right before it continued lower. Got close to my 2R, stopped out. So I'm going to take you in and show you why I waited and skipped out on this mess right here, and why I was looking at this POI, right, to start the sell model, and how I got my bias on a tricky day that had already expanded. So let's go ahead. Let's dive in, right? I'm going to go ahead and remove all the drawings. And real quick, with executions on the screen, you can see AMP Live P&L, 125 bucks, right? Steak dinner if I wanted, but that's break even for me. So let's go ahead. Let's dive in. If I back out here to the daily, what have we been doing? Well, we've kind of been up and down, right? And we left these equal highs right here. I really wanted to see those get taken out, but we had a candle 2 closure off the daily high, right? So I was looking for shorts. The problem is the move had already played out overnight. You can see here, price opens up, okay? Unless you got it on like an hourly chart, you know, the candle 2 closure, and hopped in off this closure here. Why this closure? Why not this one? Because we didn't close below, right? We actually closed below this hourly candle. So your new protected high was here, enter here, and you maybe could have caught some kind of overnight short. But that's not what we're talking about today. We're talking about my trade down in here, right? And so you can obviously see now, hey, overnight expansion, small daily wick. I woke up and got at the charts around 8 o'clock right here. So you can see consolidation. We swept the low of London, right? Came back in the range, and now we're selling off again. So bit tricky price action up in here. I was looking for shorts still, and I didn't even think about longing this, right, until we hit the POIs I was watching, which was this 4-hour imbalance on NQ and ES, right? So let's go ahead and let's dive in. Hourly chart. You can see it in even better detail, right? ES, nice closure there. We're selling off now, continuing this move lower, it looks like. NQ, same thing. But if I go to the side-by-side chart, what do you notice? Well, consolidation high, consolidation low. Swept out at 9:30, consolidation high. And you had weakness here on NQ here. So consolidation low is already swept out before 9:30. But sweep it out, come back in the range, target other side of the range. And I was looking for us to reverse off this POI here. And that's exactly what you're seeing. It's just very sluggish, right? Why? Well, because we've been expanding already for the day. We're down 3% on NASDAQ off the open. So tricky day. I was just waiting for the lower time frame, right, to align with the higher time frame, and that's when I wanted to take my trade. So I waited on NASDAQ for price to hit what? Price to come up and hit these consolidation highs. Okay, that's exactly what we did. We came up off the lows being swept here, came up, hit those. I let the reversal form, and if you see here on the hourly, we entered on a 1 minute. So on the 15 minute. What do we have here? A candle 2 closure on the 15 minute. All right. So I was looking to trade candle 3 lower. And this is very important. All right. If you go to the 1 minute, we go to replay mode. Back up here. Back up a few more bars actually, so we can paint the indicator. What do we have? Okay. Well, I'm sitting here waiting at my point of interest, right? These highs. Waiting for reversal to form. And I start to see we hit the point of interest, start chopping, right? New phase of price. Could be reversal, could be consolidation, however you want to view it. But we got a new phase of price. So I'm waiting, okay? I'm waiting for the reversal to form. And we're coming up on a new 15-minute candle, right? We get one right here, okay? So right here on this new 15-minute candle, we sweep out a 1 minute high, and we close back below the opening price here. You might be saying, Zach, well, why didn't you take that trade? You know, why didn't you take that trade? Well, because it's a valid trade. Don't get me wrong, but zoom out. What's here on a 15-minute? A tiny 15-minute imbalance that we could tap into and reverse off of, right? Because think about it. When you're trading consolidations, what do you want to see? Well, if we're actually going to break out of this consolidation after sweeping the low and have a true breakout to the upside, I want to see price come back down, respect bullish PD arrays, then move higher. So I didn't want the 15-minute to come down, hit these lows, and then immediately stop me out in this setup fail, right? I didn't want to see us come down on the 15-minute, hit these lows, and come back immediately and stop me out. Okay. So I skipped out. I wanted to see how the 15-minute would react off these points of interest, right? Imbalance here and 15-minute imbalance right here as well. Okay. It could do something like that. Then I would have looked for longs. If it came down and, showed me what I wanted to see as we dug into here and went lower, then I was looking for shorts, right? So I was just waiting. If then statements. That's all it is. If this, then that. So I skipped out on this. I know some people probably took this and look what would have happened, right? If you're looking for your 2R, unfortunately, here, comes down, hits these lows, reverses on you. Boom, you're getting stopped out here by a tick at that high. Right? You got stopped out by a tick. Unfortunate, right? So I skipped out, right? You can miss me with that loss. I'm not taking that loss because you can see so far this 15-minute is reacting off these imbalances, right? That's what we did not want to see for shorts. But at the same time, we're sweeping out this high by a tick, okay? So if we close below here, that's a new bearish protected swing at this high. So I said, all right, if we close below here, I'm looking for something like this. I want to sell. I'm looking for sell side of the curve to form and target a 2R. Doesn't even have to come back down to these lows. It can, but I don't need that to get my 2R, right? So I'm waiting. Not only do we get an immediate close back below here, but we disrespect this 1 minute imbalance as well. So right when it closed below on the very next candle, I just market ordered in. On the opening price, stop at the body high of the order block, right? This high should stay protected now. I'm trading this candle, what? Candle 3 to the downside, right? Let the reversal form, trade the continuation. And I'm looking for what? My little fixed 2R down here. Okay, that's good enough. That aligns with these projections, and there's also this low right here that I'm kind of targeting as well. So I'm in, okay? And just riding the wave. Let it chop around. What do we get? I tap into this balanced price range as well. This fair value gap here. And if we close below here, I can look for reduced risk to the new protected high. So we close below. Boom. Risk now moves to here. And then we get a new, 15-minute candle. We traded the candle 3 lower. Now we're in a candle 4. I want to see this candle come down here and hit my TP, right? Align with these projections. And by now, once we hit this low, you can see, go back on stream. Once we hit this low, my stop went break even. Okay, so risk-free trade. I'm break even now. We're so close to my TP. We're over halfway there. We're hitting a low. We're hitting projections. Okay, we're hitting what? 50% of this range from the low to the high. We're hitting 50% right here. So if this candle is going to sweep out the previous 15-minute candle low and close back candle 2, it's going to reverse off here and go higher. That's why I went break even. All right. Also, my break even rules were halfway to my target. It's a choppy day. I don't want to see retracement back up, So my stops are break even. So let's keep going. We start to come back up. I mark out this imbalance here. You see here we close above that. Kind of sketchy. Not optimal. And then we get this deep retracement all the way back up to stop me out for break even right here. Unfortunate, but it's starting to look like I want to reverse now. And then in the final few minutes of this 15-minute candle, it just dumps again back down and closes below these up close candles, right? Respecting this imbalance. So I got tagged out here. Boom. They tagged me out. Must have been watching the stream. I don't know. But eventually, what do we get? Respect this imbalance. You want to see it close below this opening price here. You can now reduce risk from here to here. Okay. Once it closes below, your stop can go here. And then we've been selling off ever since throughout the morning. Okay. And you can just track these imbalances, we're respecting them, yada, yada, yada. So deep retracements on this, not ideal. I want to see some kind of fast sell-off like we had on buy side of the curve here. But I was patient, okay? I was patient. We waited for the drawings on the screen. You can see, got in here, stopped out here for break even there. So is what it is. I was up about, $5-6 grand on that trade, but wasn't even to 2R. So got to follow the plan. Let the probabilities play out. Not every trade is going to go your way. But if you keep showing up, keep executing consistently over a series of trades, you're going to make money as long as you have an edge in the market. So I'll catch you guys next stream. If you haven't joined the Discord yet, there's a link in this video to join. It's free. Hang out with us outside of the streams, and I'll catch you guys on stream tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern time, sharp. Peace out.